Today I'm coming to you with how to keep your weight off. So this is a big request I get from a lot of ladies because what a common struggle seems to be is you lose the weight, you do it fairly quickly, and then whenever you go back to normal life or something happens that throws you off, you kind of blow back up or you plateau and you really struggle to keep the weight off. So what I want to do is share some tips and tricks with you today to make sure that you can lose weight in an effective way and actually keep it off and not have to always worry or have will I fall off in the back of your head all the time. So first thing I like to do before I even start a woman on a weight loss journey, so this is something you can do before you even start your journey, I want you to ask yourself two questions. First question, is this something that I can do the rest of my life? So whatever diet or workout program or coaching program or app or video or whatever it is you're trying, ask yourself, is this something I can do the rest of my life? Second question to ask yourself, would I choose to do this thing if I wasn't trying to lose weight? Now, if the answer is no to either of those questions, you are setting yourself up for failure. You are setting yourself up to lose the weight and then gain it back. Because how you lose the weight is how you keep it off. You have to lose the weight in a fairly enjoyable way and in a sustainable way so that when you reach your goal, it's not just like, okay, done, back to normal life. No, you have to have created some type of healthy habit. It's not all about restriction, lose the weight, go back to normal, and then balloon back up. How many times can you repeat that cycle until you completely screw up your metabolism? I know that I did that so much, and I even got stretch marks from gaining weight and losing weight so quickly. And it's just not something you should be putting your body through. So ask yourself those two questions, okay? Because how you lose the weight is how you keep it off. So if this is not something that you would do the rest of your life and something you wouldn't choose to do if you weren't trying to lose weight, meaning this is something you're about to do that you'll actually enjoy and get pleasure from in some sense, then do not do it, okay? That is how you can stop yourself from gaining weight back and how you can keep the weight off that you do lose because you started on the right foot and you started with something that was sustainable to begin with. Now, the next thing I want to talk about in terms of how we make sure we keep the weight off, right? So say you've tried something, you've lost a little bit of weight or all of your weight, you're at your goal, and now you're afraid of going back. And you couldn't do step number 1 that I talked about because you're already past that. So here's the second thing that you always have to realize. A lot of the times we do not have a second goal. A lot of the times we are just working so hard and so hyper-focused on that one goal we've been trying to reach for so long that we never think about what happens next. Now, what ends up happening if that's the case is that we either make it halfway to our goal and we fall off, or we make it to our goal and we fall off. Because we've never had a next step. We've never visualized what happens after we reached our goal, which means we haven't actually thought we will reach our goal. So subconsciously this entire time, if you haven't had a goal past your main goal, you've already kind of been telling yourself that first goal isn't going to happen because you haven't been future pacing, you haven't been envisioning and imagining what happens next. So what you have to do right now is you need to always have 2 goals. So the first goal is what you're working on right now, and then the second goal is what you're going to work on next. So let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. So 10 pounds is my goal number 1, and then after I lose 10 pounds, I'm definitely going to want to lose maybe 30 pounds, right? So there's my 1 goal, there's my 2 goal. Now, when I've lost my 10 pounds, now my first goal is losing 30 pounds. And now I need to have that second goal again. So you're always kind of coming up with the second goal. So you are convincing your brain that you already think you're going to achieve number 1. So let's start thinking about number 2. Right? Now, what you don't want to do is start thinking 3, 4, 5, 6, because then that gets overwhelming and that's just too far removed from you. So it doesn't seem very realistic or achievable. So goal 1, goal 2. So if now goal 1 is losing 30 pounds, goal 2 could be, I want to run a 5K race this summer without being out of breath. Something like that. So you always want to future pace your progress because we're having to break a lot of patterns and cycles of behaviors that we've been stuck in for so long. And if you're listening to this video and you clicked on this video, chances are you struggle to keep the weight off. Maybe you struggle to lose weight, maybe you don't struggle to lose weight, but you struggle to keep it off. Right? So what you need to realize is it's a mental block a lot of the time, because subconsciously we give up or doubt ourselves before we've even achieved our goal. And then that's kind of an uphill battle, and we've kind of given up before we even started, which is crazy, because some of you will know what I'm talking about and some of you won't understand that, but it's happening kind of behind closed doors in the background of your mind. So always have a second goal past the first goal, so that way you're convincing yourself that goal number one is more achievable, and you now have a plan to follow after your initial plan, right? Because a lot of the times we reach our goal and then it's just back to normal life, and we don't have anything to look forward to, we don't have anything to work towards, so we fall off some type of structure and routine. Right? If we keep a structure and we keep a routine because we see a light at the end of the tunnel, we see our next stepping stone, we can keep going through obstacles and challenges because we know what they're for. But if we don't have a next step and we get hit with these obstacles and challenges, we get beat down very quickly and we get demotivated very quickly because we can't see what we're supposed to be doing, and it fades into the distance and it's not motivating and it's not real, and then eventually we forget that we had a goal and life gets in the way. Now, the last thing that was really, really helpful for me and is a game changer for the Fit Queen community is making sure that you have a tribe. So like actual like-minded people who are on the same journey, experiencing the same thing, the same struggles, the same victories as you. And this is important because you gained weight for a reason and you're stuck not being able to lose weight for some reason. Right? And oftentimes the reason for that has to do with the way our environment is set up, and also, unfortunately, who we spend time with. So either our environment is full of temptations, or the people we hang out to trigger us, or tempting, or negative Nellies, Debbie Downers, bad influences. If that remains the same, you will always be pulled down to the lowest level in your life, right? You're only as strong as your greatest weakness. And in terms of weight loss and in terms of keeping weight off, it tends to fall back to your environment and the people you hang out with. Now, the difficult part here is you can't just go get a new husband or go get a new mother-in-law or change your house overnight. That stuff, that's a long-term game plan. That's something that you do in the background slowly and patiently. So if you can't outright get rid of the negative influences, what you need to be doing if you want to secure your weight loss results and make sure they're permanent and stop always being afraid that they might just be temporary and you can fall off around every corner, what you need to be doing is, instead of getting rid of negative influences, you need to be increasing your positive influences, right? So if there's 6 bad things that happen in a day, you need 7 good things to happen in a day, or you need to go and search for 7 positive influences in a day. So that's the ratio. I call it the golden ratio. You got to outweigh the negative by increasing the positive. Instead of focusing on the negative, trying to decrease that will happen over time. The more positive you get, right? And in fact, the more positive you get, the more negativity actually wants to leave your life for you. So you don't even have to do that work. So one of the quickest ways to increase positivity is having that community and having that tribe of like-minded women doing the same thing, going through the same things as you. Because a lot of the times we are our own worst enemies. We are what gets in our way, right? We overthink. When we overthink, we build things up, and then those things become insurmountable. They become too big, too overwhelming. We don't think we can ever accomplish them or ever tackle them. Where if you have a tribe of people going on the same journey, guess what? You got Susie over here who has this huge obstacle and she's seeing results. Then you got Sally over here who's crushing it even though this horrible thing happened in her life. So when you're around people still going, still pushing, no matter what happens, it is contagious, it is motivating, you get a little competitive, and it eliminates all excuses for you because someone's going through what you're going through and they're still pushing. So you can too. So a tribe has so many awesome benefits and a community has so many awesome benefits, and it's so important that you have that on lock so you can keep your weight off, because you got to keep your eye on the ball even after you reach your goal. The keeping the weight off phase, that is where it is important to make sure, because that's kind of when life sets in, right? You tend to get, stress will come up, emotions will come up, life's gonna get in your way, work might get more busy, you might get sick, you might get injured, something might throw you off, you might go on vacation, right? Things out of the ordinary, pushing you out of the routine that you've built while you were in your little weight loss cocoon, that both hit. And we aren't prepared for those mentally because a lot of those things don't happen during our weight loss phase, right? We tend to put ourselves in this cocoon while we're losing weight, and then when we reach our goal, we emerge into real life, and then we weren't kind of prepared for real life. So it kind of slaps us in the face, kicks us to the ground, and we take that as, oh my God, it didn't work. When really it was just a test that you hadn't prepared for. So now it's just another experience, or another chance rather, to start studying. Study for your next test, and it's really helpful, and you will become smarter, faster, and you will be more strong-willed for longer when you have women around you going through the same thing. So make friends. Commit with somebody. Look for online communities and groups, just like the Fit Queen community. That's what we do. We're always motivating each other, pushing each other. We don't make excuses for each other. We always encourage each other. We keep pushing, and it's just so exciting, and it's contagious. Like, it's really contagious because your motivation is like a roller coaster, right? And if you expect it to always be up here, that's when the devastation happens the most. Where after your initial weight loss, when you're trying to keep the weight off, that is when you still need to make sure that you have a routine in place past the point of when motivation disappears. Because you can't only work out when you're motivated. You can't only eat right when you're motivated. You can't only say no to temptation when you're feeling strong. So have these safeguards in place, like having a community, like doing something that's enjoyable and sustainable, and like setting 2 goals in advance, so that no matter what life throws at you, you have something to catch you and to hold you on and to keep you focused and to keep the eye on the ball. The reason we gain weight back is because we weren't prepared for whatever it was that happened to make us start to gain weight again. If we have things that kind of insert some motivation, insert some logic, insert a clear next step, then you can always get back on track no matter what. And you don't have to wait to get fully motivated or hit rock bottom again to restart. No more of that. No more losing weight, gaining it all back, and then starting again. What if we lost the weight, had a little hiccup, got right back on track, and never derailed as bad as we had in the past? That is your goal. That is my challenge to you next time. It is just get back on track and implement these tips I talked about today to make sure that you keep your eye on the ball at all costs so you can keep your weight off, because that's the goal. Nobody wants to put in all this effort for nothing at the end of it. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below, click the like button, turn on the notifications, and of course subscribe so you can get more awesome tips and tricks from me. I am Coach Maddie. I've lost over 70 pounds, and now every single day I get to help women along their weight loss journey. And if you need help, if you're curious about learning more, click the link down below in the description, and I will see you next time.